AOS interview question. Hello.
Hey Jim.
Yo,
Good.
what's up?
Hi. Um, I the question that I have for you today is based off of how my AOS interview went.
Okay.
Before we get into that, let me just give you my backstory. So I'm from Guyana, South America. Um, and I moved here in April of 2025. That was just recent. Um, So before I moved here 2 years ago, I would say 20, no, sorry, not 2 years ago, about 3 years ago or so, I had a previous uh, K1 visa petition that was filed for me by my ex. We were in a long distance relationship for about 8 years. We have a son together now. Um, However, before that K1 visa was approved, I left the relationship because of abuse, and I asked for the petition to be canceled. Um, I would say I left the relationship about a month or two before I saw that the petition was approved by USCIS. However, I abandoned the case. I never heard anything back from USCIS or the NVC. I'm not sure if the case ever reached to the NVC or the embassy in my home country. I'm not sure because I never looked back on it. Um, and I did not come to the US on that K1 visa. I came to the US on a B1, B2 visa um, that I got in 2024, August. I would have already known my husband. My husband is a US citizen also. Um, and we got married here in August. The first time I visited, we got married, and then I went back home to my country. I visited the US again that same year, 2024 November, and I spent like 5 to 6 weeks with my husband, and then we both went back to Guyana together. Um, and that's when I returned to the US with my two kids in April and filed for the adjustment of status. However, my husband would have already filed the I-130 petition for us January of 2025. Um, when I came in April, we didn't file right away. We filed the adjustment of status petition October of 2025. um, we did the biometrics in December. I got the interview date in January, and I did my interview like 2 weeks ago. So at the interview, um, they did not ask us any questions about our marriage other than how we met. They did a Stokes interview, and that's because I had to take my two kids with me at the same time because their interview date was the same day. They Before the interview even began, the officer came out. She was like, "We're gonna do this a little different today." She called in my husband first, and she asked him basic questions: his name, address, etc. And then she went ahead and she said, "Oh, I saw that you applied for a K1 visa for your spouse." And he was like, "No, that's not mine. He applied for the I-130 petition. The K1 was a pass um, petition." And she looked at him with a little bit of confusion, and she called me in next. So she asked me my name, date of birth, address, um, and she asked me how did my husband and I met, and she went ahead and asked about the K1 petition. I was very honest with her because this is the honest truth. I am the one that left the relationship and asked for it to be canceled. While I was back home in my country, I did reach out to an immigration lawyer, and the lawyer said that I cannot cancel the petition because I wanted to see if I could have canceled it out myself. Um,
Right.
yeah, sorry. Yeah, and he said that I cannot do that. All I can do at that point was abandon the case. I did that. And I told her exactly that. Um, I said, I don't know if the case was ever canceled out, and that's the truth because I never looked back on it. She said, okay. She asked about my two prior denied B1, B2 visas. She asked me why I was denied it. I said, I don't know because they don't usually tell you why you're denied. But I did mention that I guess because I was too young at that point, which I was when I first applied, though that was like years ago. And she said, okay. And so we weren't approved on the spot or anything. She didn't even want to take like the extra evidences that I took for my prior marriage. I had like new evidence. um when I told her that I have, a lot more evidence, she was like, oh no, I see you guys have quite a few stuff here already. That's okay. However, I did kind of still force them on her because in my mind I was thinking like, I would prefer her to have more than less. So that's basically how it went. She said that they're going to be holding the case for review and they're going to send a response in the mail. I know I haven't waited quite a lot as yet because it's just been 2 weeks, but my question is to you, what do you think about this case? Like, do you think because of the past petition that was not canceled out affect this now, or do you think, I don't know.
Let's do the whole timeline real quick, okay?
Okay.
So when did your prior partner file the I-129F with USCIS?
I would say 2022.
Okay. And then did USCIS approve the I-129F?
Yes, they did in 2024, February of 2024.
And then when did you ask your partner to withdraw that case?
I asked him to withdraw it. I would say January. That was like a month. Yeah, a month before it was approved. January 2024.
Okay. And as we sit here right now, you don't know whether they ever did anything to do that, right?
No, so I dug deep and I found the printout of the approval notice, which had like the case number on it, and I
Mhm.
put that into the tracker, and it's still say that the case was approved. Like that's all I'm seeing on it, nothing else.
Okay. And you don't know if the National Visa Center or the embassy in Guyana did any processing after that approval in February of 2024, right?
No, I don't know.
Okay. So for all we know, yeah. But you had notified him the relationship was over and you didn't have any more contact with him after January of 2024, right?
We did have contact because I have a son for him,
Oh yeah.
but when it comes to that, no, because we were just all we were doing is fighting. I would say when we had the most contact was when I moved to the US last April.
Wait, I want to get to
Because
that.
before then,
We'll get to all that. So he's never confirmed for you one way or the other whether he withdrew the fiance case.
he said he did. He didn't do it himself. He used a firm to do it, I think. And he said that he asked them to cancel it, and they told him that they canceled it.
Okay.
That's all.
Okay. So then and with this partner, you had two children, right?
I have one for him,
One
one
with him.
child for him, but it's in total. Yes.
Okay. Um, okay. So then when did you meet the person that you're married to now?
When I met the person that I'm married to now, it was in 2022. That's the first time I met him. However, of course, I couldn't be in a relationship with him then. We were friends. And then April of 2024, we decided to get in a relationship.
So would it be fair to say that your relationship with your current spouse had anything to do with the breakup of the fiance case or no?
No, that had
Okay.
nothing to do with the breakup.
It was because of the abuse.
It was because of the abuse, yes.
Okay. So then when did so tell me about the old visit visas that you have. Like what years were those visit visas denied?
The first, oh,
Just roughly.
um, Okay, so I know about the last one that I had denied. It was in 2017.
Okay.
Ah,
So
the
long,
first.
so at least both were at least 5 years before the fiance case.
Yes, correct.
And that was just you trying to come to the United States for a visit, and that got denied twice.
Yes,
Okay.
but I was really young both
Yeah.
times. The first tried I was like 17 years old, and then the second I was like 20 years old. So
Perfect. Okay. All right. Now, um, the person that you're married to now, so you met in 2022. In April of 2024, you became a couple. When did you apply for a visit visa to come to the United States after April of 2024?
August 2024,
And did that get approved?
it got approved.
And was
However, if I may say, I'm sorry.
fine.
I think it got approved because I was coming for a funeral.
Okay. And did you bring your kid with you or no?
No,
Okay. And so did you go to the funeral?
when we came, the funeral was already over because of the state that the person was in. They were in a train crash. So,
Oh,
but we had like a family get together.
okay. Okay. Um, and so how long was that trip when you came in August of 2024?
2 weeks.
2 week trip. And did that trip, did you see the person you're married to now during that trip?
Yes, that's when I got married to him. We signed up at the court because originally the wedding was we were supposed to sign up in Guyana October of that year. And when I came, he was like, as I'm here, let's just get it over with before he have to spend money and come to Guyana and stuff like that.
Okay, so time out, time out, time out, time out. So you told them you were coming to go to a funeral. You missed the funeral, but you did go to a family celebration.
Yeah,
And you stayed for 2 weeks, and during that 2 weeks, wait,
correct.
wait,
Yes.
wait. Okay, I forgot something. How did you meet this person?
He was on vacation in Guyana and we met at a pool.
Okay, when did that happen?
Uh, April of 2022.
Got it. Got it. April of 2022 in Guyana.
Yes.
Okay, so sister, I think that your problems in your case have actually very little to do with your fiance case. I think it's much more these shenanigans since then. So let's keep going. So August of 2024, you come for 2 weeks and you actually get married on that trip.
Correct.
And did you have a multiple entry visa or a single entry visa?
It was a multiple entry.
Okay. So when did you come back to the United States?
November 2024.
When you came in August of 2024 for that funeral, did the person you're married to now pick you up at the airport?
No, because he's in a different state. So the state that I went to, I've been to that state first. We did whatever we had to do regarding to the funeral, the get together, and then I visited the state he lives in. And
Okay. I can't believe I'm going to ask this question, but what percentage of time did you spend on funeral stuff and what percentage of time did you spend with him in the 2 weeks that you were here?
I would say half of the time I spent with the funeral. No, I'm gonna lie about that. I would say out of 10, I spent 7 funeral stuff and like the other 3 on the wedding.
So, okay. All right. And so between April of 2022 when you met him in Guyana, had he come back to see you at all?
No,
And when you met him in April of 22, how much time had you spent together?
it was just the first time we met. That was it.
Right. So how many days was it that you spent there?
It was just like hours. Just it wasn't days. A
So you met
couple.
one day.
Yeah.
So basically, so if what I'm hearing you saying then is you spent one part of one day together in April of 22, and then 3 days in August of 2024, and on the third day you got married.
Yeah.
So you basically married someone that you knew for 4 days.
No. I'm sorry. I think I mixed up one of your questions.
Okay.
in April 2024, when we decided to get together, he came to Guyana to see me, and that was for 2 weeks.
Okay. So,
And
then
then,
we have the one day when you first met, then he comes back in April of 2024, and then
correct.
you go, okay,
No,
but still, sister, still that's, giving you every benefit of the doubt, that's maybe 3 weeks total time together when you get married, right?
no, we also did a trip to Panama together in June.
Okay. How long was that for?
It was for 1 week.
Any other trips?
That was it. And then
So
I came.
4 or 5 weeks. It's a fast marriage.
Yes, correct.
Did the officer go through all that stuff with you like I just did, or was the officer
Oh,
focused on the fiance case?
on the fiance case. So that's why I'm kind of confused, and that's why I'm, I
That was
wanted.
just that was just round one. Round two hasn't happened yet. That's the thing. Round two is where they come in and they ask you about your relationship and about this time. They just haven't gotten to this part yet because they're still trying to process in their minds the fiance case and to see what happened, right?
Yes.
So if I were to ask you, or if an officer were to ask you, why did you get married so fast? What would you say?
I would say when you know, you know.
Just to be the devil's advocate, didn't you know that that was your fiance that you wanted to be with?
Yes,
I
but that
mean,
was
I'll tell you what I think
honestly.
is going to happen. I think they're just going to sit on this case. They're going to sit on this case thinking that based on your prior case falling apart, even though you were the one that withdrew it, they're going to say to themselves, these people got married really fast. The I would imagine didn't have a ton of marriage evidence at the time of the interview. Maybe you did, but
I
that
did.
they're just going to. I mean, you got a kid together, so that's helpful. They're just going to sit on the case and hope that the marriage falls apart. I think that's I think there's going to be a very, very slow walk of a case.
Oh wow.
So I think 2 weeks. I think 2 weeks in the scheme of things is nothing. I think they're going to sit on this case to see if you guys get divorced.
Oh wow. They didn't like approve my EAD or anything. It was like straight to interview. It wasn't any. There
Yeah,
wasn't.
because they figured if they jumped on. Okay, so but just real quick, let's finish up the timeline. So you leave for that 2 week trip. When did you come back to the United States?
November of 2024.
And you've been here ever since.
No, I spent 6 weeks. We been to Miami, and
Okay.
then he took a trip to Guyana with me.
Okay, good. And then
That
when did
was
you get back to the United States?
I got to the United States April of 2025 with my 2 kids.
His and the one from the first spouse or first fiance.
No, we're mixing that up. So I do not have any kids for my prior husband. For my current husband. The one child that I have for my fiance is from the prior relationship, and then I have another child that I had like years ago with somebody else from.
Oh,
Okay, so
I
I
got
don't have any kids with my husband.
Okay. Okay. You arrived in April 2025. When did you file your I-485?
October 2025.
And I think you said in there January of 2025 he filed the I-130, right?
Correct.
Okay, so here's the big question. Why did you stay in the United States after you entered on April 2025 and file for adjustment?
I couldn't deal with the distance anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
The big question is, did you intend when you came to stay this time and apply for a green card, or did you change your mind after you were here when you were faced with the possibility of going back to Guyana and being separated?
yeah, I changed my mind while I was here.
Did they ask you about that at the interview?
No, they did not.
Yeah, you're definitely having a second interview, and you definitely need Did you go to this without a lawyer?
I did.
And your current spouse has filed I-130s for both of your kids, right?
Correct.
Yeah. This is a very tough case. Knives will be out. You're definitely gonna have another interview, and they might come to your house and see that they might try to, reach out to prior fiance. I think this has a lot of issues, a lot of moving parts to this case. Not an easy case. Did you think this was an easy case?
Uh, I would say at first I did because I knew to myself that it's real, everything, but I'm now starting to see the timeline and the whole storyline and everything.
Timeline's the whole thing. When any good immigration lawyer dives into a case, the timeline is the whole thing. That's why I went all the way back to when did you apply for your B1, B2? You got to get a whole picture of the whole thing. And when all the different, because like when you went through the recitation the first time, I was following along and I sort of got the gist. But when I pressed on the timeline, then the pieces sort of fall into place and you can sort of see the whole picture. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, I got you.
Yeah. Well, if you need help, let me know.
I do think I need help. Would anyone be able to reach out to me from the office, or do I have to?
Yeah, Julio reach out. She's got you. I'll just say this. Are you ready for this? I hope your husband is really smart and makes a good witness because he's the star witness.
Yeah, I mean, we're ready.
Okay.
It's real. We know it's real. I would be happy to have a second interview, or even for someone to visit the home so they can see, because
Yeah.
we have nothing to lie about. So
The timeline is what kills us. That you got married really fast. But okay. All right. Thanks so much for the call. We'll reach out. Okay.
thank you so much.
Have a good day.